Let's go to the Deputy Prime Minister and the Defence Minister, Richard Marles. Minister, good to have you with us this morning. So as you understand things, does anything at all change for us at the moment when it comes to tariffs?
No, the position remains the same for Australia in terms of a 10% tariff, and the position of the government remains the same in terms of advocating to the United States that it would be better if there were no tariffs on our two-way trade. But notwithstanding that, we will focus on our own economic resilience, like, for example, strengthening our anti-dumping regimes in Australia, making sure that we're putting aside $50 million to help affected companies find alternative markets, and having a resilient stream to the National Reconstruction Fund. All of these measures that the Prime Minister announced a week ago are really important in terms of building our own economic resilience, and we'll also focus on diversifying our trade, which is what we've been doing for the last 3 years.
So I will get to that in just a moment, but another point here, because much was made about us getting the best deal, but now all of these other nations are at our 10% level. So have we now lost our advantage?
Well, I don't think anyone was talking in terms of advantages here. I mean, yes, it's right that we had imposed on us the lowest tariff that America imposed at the time, but our position then was that we think that that was not in the interests of the two-way trading relationship of Australia and the United States, and that there should be a reciprocal tariff of no tariffs. That's what is in place, or has been in place, under the US-Australia Free Trade Agreement. So, and we'll continue to make that case that there should be no tariffs in respect of our two-way trade with America.
Has the Prime Minister been able to get on the phone with Donald Trump?
Well, I mean, we continue to advocate to the United States.
Yeah, but what does that mean? Who's talking? I mean, yes, we are in caretaker mode, but is this not an emergency where the PM should be picking up the phone and getting on to Donald Trump? We're
focused on making sure that we are economically resilient, and that whatever happens in respect of the trading situation that America has with us, and indeed the rest of the world, that we are building our own economic resilience. And that is the announcement that the Prime Minister made a week ago when these tariffs were first announced by the United States, and that's what we're focused on. We continue to make the case to the US, and our representatives do that. Now, right now, the Prime Minister rightly is focused on the conversation he and the rest of us are having with the Australian people in the lead up to the election on the 3rd of May. But whatever happens in terms of our trading relationship with the United States, and we'll make that argument, we need to be making sure that we are as resilient as possible. So, you know, if you think about that interview you just did with Richard, making sure that we strengthen our anti-dumping regime is going to be really important. We're focused on that.
And that's my next question to you. Like Richard said, will we now become a dumping ground for China?
Well, I think the risk of this is, around the world grows, which is why in the response that the Prime Minister made on the day, a key focus was strengthening Australia's anti-dumping laws, the regime.
Yeah, but do you expect China to do it specifically to us?
Well, we will make sure that that does not happen in terms of our economy, and that's why we will be strengthening our regime to make sure that we have every protection in place. That is a critically important step to take in this moment, and it's why that was a focus in terms of the response that the Prime Minister gave a week ago.
So this all comes off the back of these comments from Zhao Quan, China's ambassador to Australia, who said in the SMH this morning that he wants to bro down with us, that he wants to hold our hands. What do you make of that? Do we accept? Do you believe them? Do you trust them?
Well, we're not about to make common cause with China, so I can be completely clear on that.
What do you mean by common cause?
Obviously, we pursue Australia's national interests. That's what we're doing. And we're not about to make common cause with China in respect of any. We're not going to be holding hands with China in respect of any contest that's going on in the world, we're pursuing Australia's national interest. And actually our focus is not about China, but it is diversifying our trade with countries around the world. We're about to sign a new trade agreement with India, the largest country in the world. We've signed a trade agreement with the UAE, which is the gateway to the Middle East, a really important market for Australia. We've actually doubled our trade in the last 3 years with the United Kingdom. We're doing more in Southeast Asia.
How did Don Farrell go with the EU this week? Are we going to get that FT free trade deal going with the EU?
Well, I think it does put all of that into a sharper focus, and Don Farrell's been making that point, and we'll continue to negotiate and see what we can now do with the EU. But it is an example of the fact that our focus is on diversifying our trade, and sure, stabilising the relationship with China over the last 3 years has been important. But it's not about making common cause with China, holding hands or any of that. We're not doing that. What we're doing is pursuing Australia's national interest and diversifying our trade around the world.
All right, it's good to have you with us, Richard Marles, this morning in beautiful Geelong. It looks like a heck of a sunrise there. Nice spot to be. Thank you, Richard. We'll talk to you soon.